good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Let's Be Honest podcast with your humble host, Tone DeShields. I'm eternally grateful that y'all are here with me for another episode. Y'all don't understand. But as y'all can see, and as y'all can definitely hear through the audio, I got a special guest. Me and this guy go way back, college days. My man, DJ Stuck.
My guy. Thank you for having me.
First things first, my brother. I'm grateful. Like I said to you when you first came in, this podcast is my baby, man. And I appreciate anybody that come through, try to kick it with me, just be as honest.
Did this like years ago.
Yeah, man. You were supposed to do this a couple years back when I first started. You was trying to set it up. Whatever happened. But nonetheless, it's happening. It's happening when it's supposed to. When you hear, and that's all we could. That's all we can ask for by the grace of God, bro. That's all we can ask for, man. Especially during this quarantine. So, like, how have you been, coping just with the quarantine? How have you been since everything?
Honestly, when it comes to quarantine, I'm chilling. I'm an extroverted introvert. I do going out when I need to, but being in the crib, I'm perfectly fine. I've seen people start losing they minds. No, I'm chilling. Ain't nothing to it.
No, I relate to that. Yeah. Like it's like I was telling you before we, started recording. Like I just found like so much clarity being
right.
I find peace and I find clarity in being by myself. You alone with your thoughts. It's so much that you could really filter through when you got that time to just digest and really understand what you're trying to do,
right?
How to execute, so on and so forth. But how would you describe life since graduating from Cal U? Because I know for me, it's going through the motions, the ups and downs, but I finally found some stable footing going into 2018 and 2019. So how would you say life has been for you since graduating from college and just embarking on this real life thing?
I wouldn't say it's been a rough transition, but it hasn't been bad.
Okay.
Like finished in December. I didn't come back home till that next May, cause I still had to finish out my lease and whatnot. But by the time I got home, I was only literally out of a job till October.
Okay.
By that October, I was already in somewhere, and I've been there since. So I'm still one of those very fortunate to leave, come home, and not have to spend too much time unemployed. Like I was able to get right in. And to a point where I was excelling. So
where do you get you
at? Right now I'm downtown at Flywheel Sports.
Okay.
It's a spin cycle gym company owned in New York. So they got studios in New York. We had two out in the city, but one had closed. But one in Philly. We got locations in DC. We had locations in Texas, Cali, Florida.
Oh, y'all around?
Yeah.
So just in case you move, you could definitely probably transfer somewhere.
If I needed to, yeah.
That's what's up. It's a lot of stability and security in that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like
sure.
It's a dope experience because it's like, though I'm not one of the people teaching the classes and everything, just being in that more of the management environment it gives me like a nice feeling.
Yeah, because you majored in sports management, so the spin cycling, all that stuff kind of go hand in hand. And you got your degree in sports management as well. So, how would you say that piece of paper? Makes a difference in your life? Has it made a difference? Because a lot of people don't know. On top of you, on top of your real life job, you DJ.
Yeah.
You always had Cal U on Smash. So how do you balance that? But just the first question, like, has that piece of paper made a difference for you so far?
I can honestly say it has, because it's like that's something that I knew I wanted to do already.
Gotcha.
So once I got into school, I'm like, all right, I already know what I'm about to major in. So by the time I got out, I wasn't looking for anything unless it was in my field. Like, because it wouldn't have made sense for me to really start off somewhere else if I went to school for sports management. Why not start somewhere within the sport industry? And then the perks that come with the job is even better. Yeah. I can literally go to multiple gyms, like not even just through us. Like I can go to like other gyms that we partner with within the city.
Oh, that's tough.
And take classes there for free. Like if I need a quick workout, it's the place called Unite. They got one of the toughest workouts in the city. Like We don't really have a partnership with them, but it's a boxing studio around the corner, Rumble, that just opened up. I know one of the.
That sounds familiar.
I know one of the guys that teaches there because he was at Flywheel first. Like, and the connections is endless. Like you see so many people too within the industry, hosting events, giving back. Like it's been. I don't regret going to school for sport management at all. The only thing I would have done probably differently, I probably would have had a double minor. Because I did minor in business, but I would have, if I knew I would take it the way I would with my DJing as well, I would have minored in music, of course. I would have went that course.
I'm glad you dialed back to that. So, being a DJ, we all know that come with a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of late nights, a lot of just balancing. How did you balance? Because I always wondered that, you know, why you did what you did in college. Like, how did you balance the class life with the lifestyle outside of the classroom? You know, since you DJ, you had damn near every party on Smash.
And it's crazy because the balance is wasn't even really just between class and DJing. Because you gotta think about it, I ran track too.
Yeah, see, my man ran track in college too, so one of the fastest on campus.
So I'll literally wake up morning classes. All my classes are in the morning.
Okay.
Like, so by the time I'm out of class, practice. Once practice done, I'm either chilling or I'm at study hall that night. I set up so that way when I get my hours in, I don't gotta worry about the certain nights where I had to come into the radio station. And
you did college radio, see?
Come to the station, even though during basketball season it got a little iffy, but coming to the station, I made sure I set that up so I can work around it, fit into my schedule, and then sometimes from the station, whether it was a Wednesday night or a Thursday night, depending on which days I was doing it, because some days I did Wednesday nights, but then at the time I was doing Thursday nights too. But with the Wednesday nights, I'll leave there, straight from the station, I'll probably go straight to the bar.
And just
go spin at the bar because
mixing.
I literally just got out the airways.
Yeah, carry the momentum right over.
Right over.
I feel you.
And then most parties, and when I did stuff like that, was weekends. So if I'm in season, if I did anything, it had to be either a weekend I wasn't traveling, or it had to be something at the house. Cause going out and having to really travel to do stuff during the season wasn't always the big mess.
Yeah, I can only imagine being a college athlete, especially at the level you was at, and trying to balance schoolwork, trying to balance relationships, trying to balance, you know, your craft, you know, with DJing, but you know, conflating you being an athlete and your craft with DJing, there's a certain level of intensity that you have to have when you're an athlete, right? Is it fair to say that you're able that you carry that same energy over into your DJing?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay.
And it's like I've always related music and sports anyway. Like before every meet, I'm listening to something. So if I'm DJing, why not be my own mixer sometimes? So from there, I can listen in, like, all right, see how I did, see how I was, see what I can fine tune, what I can switch up.
Right.
And at that same time, I'm still focusing in on what I need to do. Because at the end of the day, I'm still here on a mission, you know, as an athlete standpoint. Because I'm on the way to the meets. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to accomplish what I need to do. Sometimes I look back and I don't even understand how I did it. But it
usually is like that though.
But it made it easier because by the time I was finishing, my last semester I wasn't running anymore. Because my 4 years was up running. So that might have been one of the easiest transitions ever.
Especially since you so used to being busy, and then just transition to that final semester when you just get more, because I'm pretty sure sports probably take up most of the time for the practices, the meets, the traveling, so on and so forth. And you know, being an athlete, especially in track and field, there's an art to that. There's a finesse to that. DJing, I like you said, you liken DJing to sports. You like you put music and sports in the same vein. How would you describe the art of DJing? How would you describe your art to DJing? The method to your madness?
The method to my madness is basically I just want to tell a story. Like when I DJ a set, taking the crowd and the energy, the people around me on a journey. Like I'm gonna start off with whatever I start off with, but as I'm peeping the scene, peeping the crowd, peeping how everyone's acting, moving, I know how to work my way around the story, keep telling it, and keep the intensity up. Like I look, like every set, I really look at it as a story. Like I want to basically give y'all me. Like this is me for y'all. Let's turn up. You know. But at the same time, as I said, it's feeding off energy, so that way you sometimes you gotta switch it up.
Yeah.
But that's based off how the crowd is moving, and of course, there's sometimes requests that do come in. You gotta honor some of them.
Some requests
depending on how you feeling, because
it gotta be in the same BPM.
Not even that. It gotta be within the realm of where I'm thinking too.
Okay.
So if I hear, so someone's like, "Yo, can you play this?" I'll think about it. I'll peep the song. If I know it already, it's like, all right, boom, I'm here. Would it be cool if I went there? Nah. I can get there, but I can. Let me put this in between. Then I can boom
sandwich it together. Right. So like just hearing you say all that, it's like, and I'm a layman at DJing. It's so crazy. Like I always respect DJs because y'all get the most criticism sometimes at events because people, oh no, he didn't play the song I wanted to hear, or the energy was this or the energy was that. How do you make sure to maintain your consistency through DJing, especially the energy it requires, the intensity it requires? How do you keep that? How do you maintain that?
Practice. Like making, like when I make my mixes or I'm doing sets in the crib by myself, or even when I'm just downloading music, I'm always prepping. Like I'm always prepping in some way, shape, or form. Like my mix, like me dropping a mix is almost similar to me doing an actual set in the party.
Okay.
Because this mix can be a certain genre or so, but I can take elements from that mix, throw it right into a party set, and I already know it's gonna be good.
Like a template.
Yeah, like I already know it's gonna be good. And I'll know like what I didn't add. Oh yeah, I can throw this in there now. I can do this because I have more time, I have more areas, I can finesse more than when I'm making a mix and I'm trying to focus it on one particular area.
So it's like, it's almost like a cook in the kitchen. You got so many recipes, and everybody got that go-to recipe, but they have variations of it.
Yeah.
They able to, okay, normally I put this seasoning in, and now I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. And then see, DJs, y'all gotta have y'all pulse on the room at all times. Y'all gotta feel the vibrations. Y'all gotta feel the energy. How did you know DJing was it for you? How did this become one of your passion projects?
When I first got to Cal.
Oh, so you discovered this your first semester, first year in Cal?
When I first got to college. When I first got to Cal.
Okay, so this fairly recent for you, I guess you would say.
So I first got to Cal 2013. That first weekend, they had the little gathers and everything. I was looking at the people at the radio station outside. And it was doing the music at night. Boom. I'm like, oh, it's dope. Like, how do I get into this? And and low key, they even let me play a few tracks and everything. Like it was actually type dope. Like I'm like, yo, I really gotta get into this.
Yeah.
So from there, I went and bought my first table. Like not even.
How much those usually go for?
Well, the first one I grabbed was probably like 50, 100, like 50 to the hundreds. And it was literally probably the size of my lap, if that.
Okay.
That's how big the table was.
Like a beat machine in a way, like.
Damn near. Little circles for the. But that's where I started.
Yeah, gotta start somewhere.
And I couldn't think of DJ names, anything. Like when I first created the persona, it was DJ Nasty.
Sounds like the first name you think of.
But then I don't know what in me changed, but I was like, you know what, just keep it simple, go with DJ Stuck. And
I rock with that, by the way. It's like it's true to you.
yeah, cause I've heard the name literally my entire life since middle school. Like I've heard the name since middle school, and it's crazy. So once I figured that out, I'm like, all right. I started learning the ropes. From there, I started learning the ropes of radio, while also trying to teach myself how to DJ, like how to actually start spinning tracks and scratching and crossfading, cutting. Cause that I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I was trash. Like I had a sense for music, but back then I was working on virtual DJ and just trying to find my ways around the ins and outs. But over time, I gradually
it just started coming natural for you.
And as well as meeting other DJs in the area.
Okay.
And chopping up with them, getting a tip here or there. But other than that, a lot of it I just went for it.
Do you remember the first party you DJ at Cal?
First party at Cal.
Like the first one where you was like, all right, this is my first joint. It's my first moment. All right, I gotta make this one. I gotta make this one hot. Freshman year.
We were at an old spot called the Bat Cave.
I remember the Bat Cave.
Well, a lot of
shenanigans went on down in the Bat Cave.
Know about that, but it was a Bat Cave Halloween 2013. Mind you, I just started messing around with this in September. We're only a month through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're only a month in and we just there, we kicking it. I was talking to one of the guys, said, yo, yeah, you can come through and DJ. I said, oh, word? Went in. And the party went crazy. Like, I watched people catch twerks and like seeing that energy and that excitement, everyone just.
What's that feeling like?
It's electric.
Like, what's that feeling just knowing you the reason they feeling this way?
It's as I said, it's like electric. It's like, if I want to say, it's like a high.
Ooh.
It's almost like a high. It's like, yo, it's a vibe. Like, I'm here. And I only started DJing like outside of the seeing the people. But what really solidified it, even before that party, I went to the first party of the actual on campus of the semester.
Right.
That was like September 4th or something like that. All white party. I got there. I'm like, all right. Like, yeah, it's vibes. I'm like, these DJs
it's not working. It's not cutting it.
The music not vibing. Like something in me was like, yo, no, that's not it.
Okay.
You could do better. And what I do?
You did better.
I went to prove my, like, it wasn't one of those, you trash, da-da-da. All right, well, you try it. All right, bet. And what I do, I went in my bag and I learned. Now I started learning the craft.
Man, hearing you just talk about the beginning, talking about how you found it, the first thing that struck me was, all right, I want to DJ. Let me start buying my equipment. You invested in yourself.
Yeah.
You took that risk, because for who knows if you would have stuck with it, right? And you took a chance and you betted on yourself in terms of, okay, I'm gonna see how far I can take this. I'm gonna see how good I can get at this, because something about it is calling me. Something about it, outside of sports management, outside of track and field, this right here, something about this calling me. It's totally far from probably whatever I'm used to, but it's calling me. It's calling me. What was that? Describe that voice.
It was like, yo, it needs to be changed. Like, we're like the schools, it seemed like the schools bringing people to do these events, and it was trash to me. It's like, yo, bring a new element here. Like, bring a new path, set a new wave. Like, differentiate yourself from everything. Like, start something, become something. You know you can do it. Just go for it.
You became your own biggest fan.
Have to. And I would have never thought I'd be where I'm at now. Be completely honest with you, I never thought I would even.
Probably got a whole new set of equipment now, way bigger tables. Like I remember you used to post your videos and you just practicing and mix your stuff. I think you used to do lives or something like that, and you used to just show how you will create your mix from beginning to end, and then you'll post your mixes on SoundCloud. There's plenty of times I pre-gamed that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, you had everything on Smash, and you know, when DJing, it's an art, it's a craft, it's something that you really need to nurture. Take that time. It's a lot of people that need to hear that. They need to hear the raw process of how you got from point A to point B, because as creatives, as free thinkers, it's up to us to solidify and differentiate who we want to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes we're told to be the cookie cutter version of something, or as being black, it's like, oh, you gotta survive. Hey, just make sure the bills paid, make sure everybody eat, and everything else, you know, it'll come or whatever. Sure, that's true, but I feel like sometimes when you're young, you still trying to figure yourself out.
Yeah.
We don't get enough time to figure ourselves out. We so forced that, oh, okay, we gotta help mom with the bills, we gotta do this, or we gotta, or you know, just I feel like just being black, you're not able to really scratch that creative itch the way you really want to,
right?
Because there's so many just limitations. How would you describe some of the things or some of the obstacles you face along your journey, along your creative path? Because in order to do what you do, you need to have a unique level of self-awareness.
Well, before I even got to where I was at, I didn't actually do my first paid gig until 2 years after I even started.
Wow. So everything else was just for the love.
Yeah.
Practice.
Like I didn't do practice for the love. Like I didn't do my first gig until September 2015. It was at Pitt. Like,
how'd you get that gig?
my frat brothers.
So connections, network.
Connections. Like they bought me in. They saw how much I worked and how much I even told them I worked on it. I mean, from then and now, literally we just crossed. You know, that year before, and the next fall, y'all got me DJing. That's love.
That's love. Yeah, real
Like,
love. Shout out to the Alpha 5 Alphas at Cal U and Pitt.
And that was my first paid gig. Like,
wow.
Anything I did before that, I wasn't even really trying to. More so, I wasn't trying to ask for money, cause I wasn't too sure how it would go. Like, I felt like I could do it, but at the same time, it's like, may not be there yet. I don't got the equipment yet. I don't really got the money yet. Like, cause then it's like, all right, I got my table, but I was damn near borrowing everything else. Like, I'm borrowing speakers from wherever I'm going. Like, I need to borrow an adapter, like all this extra stuff, and it's like, I guess that's what I was trying to avoid, because at the end of the day, because I was borrowing, I knew that would take from me.
Explain it.
So, in certain situations, like with that Nesby cookout, like, though I was paid for it, I still lost more. I lost some of the money that I would have gotten, because now they had to rent the speakers for me.
Understandable. Okay.
Because at this time, I didn't have my own speakers. Like, I didn't have a big crossfader, or like, I was working with a nice small table, no amps, like nothing like that. I just had a table and a laptop.
Wow.
You know, and I was literally renting and borrowing everything else, just so I could further enhance myself.
I appreciate you really being able to be real transparent about that first gig, because doing what you do is not easy. You're literally at the mercy of the masses, and you know, going through that. See, the dark times need to be talked about. The dark times need to be brought to light, because it's not always peaches and cream or roses when you're creative. And to be quite honest, when you're a struggling artist, you know what I'm saying. You had more lows than ups. You had more downs. I mean, you had more bads than good, and you know you got to take the good that comes with the bad. And you know the fact that you were willing to make it work, make it happen, and there's something to be said about that, for you to be able to battle through your doubt, your self-doubt. So often we get in our own way before we even really appreciate the value of the path,
right?
Of the value of the process.
You get scared.
You going through all that, I'm sure it made you a sharper DJ. It made you a sharper human being. So, saying all that, because you said you doubted yourself, have you ever felt the doubt from some of the people closest to you?
I want to say that people, like, within my inner circle, they, without a doubt, have always looked out. Like, and they be the ones that tell me, yo, like, what are you doing? Like that. They'll tell me, like, yo, that's trash. Or be like, all right, that's dope. Or that's alright, but you gotta work on this, that, and the third.
To give you that constructive criticism.
Yeah, like they're not gonna pull punches with me, and I wouldn't ask them to. Like, if it's trash, let me know, cause I'll go back and do what I gotta do to make it right.
Yeah, and you need to hear that as creative people. We need to hear that, cause I know we're sensitive as shit, but at the same time, you gotta be able to differentiate the constructive voices with the destructive voices.
And plus, I had already heard like negative opinions, like even from when I was doing sports early in life. Like I heard the doubts then. So if I heard them then, and I made it to the college level of track, I'm not about to let no one tell me anything about DJing. If I bought it up myself, who am I gonna let tell me, oh, you can't watch this? Like I did it with track. I'm definitely gonna do it with this for sure. I'm not going. No. Make it happen.
Man. And that was the same. I was going through similar emotions, you know, trying to create this podcast. Right. It was like I was telling you, my first camera, I was only able to catch like 20 to 30 minutes, and then I cut off, and then I was going through little audio issues, and you know, it was just like I found myself just always running into some sort of wall, some sort of reason to not create. It's so easy to fall into that pit of just darkness, and it's so much harder to just remain positive, especially when you start off at the lowest of the low. You know, you're at the ground level of your craft. Who would you say in your craft inspires you? Which DJs that's doing it on the highest level would you say inspires you to be great?
I'm not even gonna say anyone on the by highest level. You mean like more like celebrity type?
Sure. Or just as far as somebody that you respect skillfully.
Respect is alright, cause I'm about to say celebrity type. The only person that I've seen, cause I have met Drama in person.
Wow.
Cause it was a year that DJ Drama came up to Cal.
He definitely did.
And he actually DJ'd later after that. So I got to watch Drama and hear what he did. But outside of that, it was really more so the DJs and people that I knew around me. So DJ Ye from up IUP, like he would come through Cal Pit, like he was in the area, he was around, and he had to be someone else from Philly too. So he helped me out big time. My guy DJ Swelly, he actually went to high school with me from Philly, but he went to IUP as well and traveled back and forth, and he even got his own company, like within DJing and everything. But that's like those two are really like main focuses that really like pushed me throughout college, cause like mentors in a way, and also, I mean, making sure to look out for me, as well as another one, DJ Make It Nasty. He's Pittsburgh DJ. He Where did Ray go? I want to say Ray went to Slippery Rock. Yeah, he went to Slippery Rock. Like, these are all people I would meet when I'm out traveling and stuff like that. Now, peep what they're doing. Like, yo, that's dope. All right, let me finesse. Let me see how I can rework myself to now, like, all right, I see you doing good doing that. All right, let me rework myself so I can try to be better than you. You know, like
a healthy level of rivalry and competition.
Right. Like, I'll see them get their gigs, and then it got to a point where they'll have events like, yo, you free? You want to come up? Come through. Like, they'll have me come through.
For real.
Yo, listen.
Probably put a little money in your pocket too.
Some little money, like, or it's even like, yo, I'm about to give you this exposure. Boom, hop on the set real quick. And from there, now I'm getting exposure to a whole new element, a whole nother school, a whole nother area. It's like, oh snap, he was dope. And then yo, try again, like that.
All it takes is one. All it takes is one mix. Like, how do you take me through the process? Take me through your mind when you're building a mix. What's some of the first steps you take when you're constructing that playlist or that mix for the parties, or just for the playlist you posting online?
So,
is there a different process when you're approaching those guys? I remember you saying there's like a template.
It's definitely a different process. So if I'm making a mix that I'm about to drop on like SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff, with those I generally think of first, all right, what do I want to do? Like, where can I take you? Like, where can I take the audience that I haven't taken them before? Or how can I make an improvement on what I've already done? So with that, I'll go through my head like, all right, do I want to mix it all together? Do I want to do a specific genre? Do I want to do a certain era? And then from there, once I figure that out, I'll create my own artwork. Like, I'll decide from that artwork, like, all right, let me tell my story. Like, I'll literally handpick songs sometimes. Some mixes are freehand, but some mixes like, all right, I'm gonna handpick songs and just correlate them the way that they need to come out for the best outcome. From there, with those, I'll come back and listen to them. So I'll come back, I'll listen to it. If I make any mistakes, I'll literally scrap the whole thing and start over.
Word.
Like,
you doing more listening than anything. Like, it's ear. Like, if a transition is off, if I miss a drop, sometimes I'll add a drop if I miss one, but if anything's off, like transitions, cuts, I will literally scrap the entire project and start over. Attention to detail is extremely important to you.
I've recorded mixes, like, I think the longest mix I've ever recorded for someone, it was just, for my man, just off the strength, like 2-hour mix. I can do a mix like that. I can get in an hour and a half sometimes, and be like, nope, I gotta start over.
Damn.
Like,
that speaks to your like I said, that speaks to your attention to detail, but that also speaks to the standard you set for yourself. You always gotta challenge yourself, want better for yourself, set the bar for yourself, understand, okay, I made it this far, or we can't go no lower than this now. Everything else gotta be at this par or bust.
And when I do that, I'll come back and sometimes it'll be the same transitions, but sometimes I made it be like, yo, I could have tried this. Boom. And now that sounded better than what I tried the first 3-4 times. Like, it's literally been moments I've sat in the crib I could spend a whole day making a mix. Because if I mess up, I'm gonna start it back. I'm gonna start it over. Because I need to get through it one piece, whole, flawless. So then from there, I can, as I said, I'm gonna listen to it. If it's up, as long as it's up to par, boom. Let's see if we gotta make any adjustments with sound, audio. And from there, let's upload it. Let's give it to the people.
What I'm hearing is pure discipline. Who in your life because growing up, be it family, be it friends, we come across a lot of people that mold us and shape us to be the type of person we are, whether we realize it or not. And sometimes the things we go through, it can either tighten us up or loosen us up. Who would you say in your life, personally, just helped you develop that strong foundation of discipline?
Well, obviously, first and foremost, my father put that in me, like off rip. But as I got older, like through my high school years, it was definitely my aunt. My aunt would like literally, she be on me. Like that be the one that make sure I'm doing.
Your dad's
I make
sister?
sure. No, my mom's sister.
Okay.
Making sure I had to get X, Y, Z done. Making sure I'm getting it done the way it needs to be done. And making sure I'm making the best of myself. Like not letting me just, all right, go ahead, do that. But no, get the best out of yourself. And then from there, make it better. Like just constantly improving, constantly grow. And I always got to shout out the team because without their ears, I definitely miss things too. Because I've never dropped a mix or anything like that without having first ears. Like I'll send it to certain people like, yo, let me know what you think. Once I get the green lights from certain people, it's like, all right, hit the core. Once core team put all thumbs up, yeah, be lit.
Here we go.
Let's go. Cause it's one thing. Like yeah, I know for a fact if I do it, it's gonna be lit. But sometimes I gotta. That second ear can definitely help you find certain things you couldn't find before.
Feel you. You spoke about your dad. How important is it just having, especially being young black men coming up where we come from in the city, how important is it just to have a black father just be there, be able to just give you the jewels, the information you need just to stay sharp?
So I was like, unfortunately, I did lose my father early.
Yeah.
But within those,
How old were you?
I was 12.
Damn, so you was old enough to understand. Really.
But within those 12 years, he was able to at least instill the wisdom into me. Whereas though, once I got older, I started looking back at a lot of things he was saying, like, yo, he gave me game then, and now I learned it and I'm applying it. Like, a lot of things I did learn on my own, but he still told me this way back when.
It always come full circle.
Always. So it serves as like a motivation thing. It's like, you gave me this guidance, now let me pay it back to you. Let me take what you gave me, create a better person for me so I can be the best version of me, as well as continuing on your legacy, you know.
That's awesome, bro. And I'm gonna say it to you again. I'm gonna say it to you. I appreciate you for sharing that with the people and sharing that with me, especially because that's something you don't gotta talk about. That's something that you can really, keep to yourself. That you can really hold to yourself. And I'm grateful for that. I'm appreciative of that. A lot of people don't understand how easy it is to lose somebody and then lose them the way we lost them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know for me personally, I'm blessed right now. My dad's still here. You know what I'm saying? Mom's still here. I'm still blessed. Recently just lost somebody real close to me not too long ago, and it's different when it's that somebody that you always looked up to. It's different when it's that somebody that you always felt like you was trying to keep up with, and it's just, as creatives, we channel a lot, we feel a lot. You know what I'm saying? We rely a lot on the energy of the people around us, the people closest to us. But you said something as far as making him proud, right? No obstacles, no limits. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that I do. Only because things change like the wind.
It's life.
Like I didn't see myself still in Philly right now. Like when I was really trying to get out of school, I wanted to move straight. Like I wanted to move straight out. Like
Yeah, we all day. That was my plan too, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm here.
I'm here too.
Like, and I look a lot of it like it's the Lord looking down on me. You know what I mean? He said, all right, that wasn't for you right then, but when the time comes, it's gonna happen. So 10 years from now, we'll see what happens after I took a few steps, because I've started living by a motto, day by day to see a better day.
I like that.
That's all I can do.
I like that.
Like, yeah, I know I can make predictions and try to put the goals in my head, but at the end of the day, if I'm not, how can I set the goals if I'm not doing what I need to do on a daily basis? Regardless.
Putting everything forward, putting the work in.
You can't reach the goals if you're not moving. You're not taking a step at a time. Like, but if I did have to say, I'd love to see myself being on tour.
Okay.
Like,
see that's what I'm trying to hear. Yeah,
like I would love
big dreams, dumb.
I would love to see myself being on tour, having done something like a Rolling Loud or doing a concert.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I do have, there's an artist that I do work with that actually went to Cal for a bit, and he's doing music, and he personally asked me to be like his DJ once his time comes.
Okay.
So it's like, while he's progressing, I'm gonna progress too, because at the end of the day, we all gonna eat. Like, everybody eats.
Bro, that's so important. Just like, it's so much, like, we come from a city where it's like, people love you and then they hate you as quick as they love you. It's so weird, and it don't cost a thing to show love, spread love.
Not at all.
It don't cost a thing to be like, hey bro, like I think this opportunity may be good for you, or hey, I see what you're doing, man, keep that up. It's so easy to just spread positivity. It's so easy to put that battery in people's back. It's easy, but for some people it's hard, and that's something I would never understand, because it's easy for me to spread love. My shorty told me, she said, Tone, I don't know if you realize, but the easiest emotion for you to show is love. Everything else, yeah, you cool, but love is your easiest emotion. Easiest. And that's what I try to build this podcast on. I try to build this podcast on love, honesty, transparency. People just sharing their truths, talking about their process, how they got from point A to point B, back from point B to point A. Maybe they got a detour to point C. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things you go through on this journey of self-discovery, trying to figure out where you belong in this world, and
right.
And it's a scary journey, but at the same time, the real success comes with the journey.
Yeah, that's the best success when you get to the end, cause like, yo, I made it. All right, let's go on another one.
You get that first big check. What's the first thing you doing, stuff? That first big one that showed you and told you, oh yeah, I'm here now. What's the first thing you doing?
My mom, honestly, invest. I've been talking about investing heavily a lot. Like, I've said to myself a lot, like, yo, you really get some bread, invest some of it. Like, put some into some stocks to make more money. Like, the object of the game is to be able to live comfortably. Like, that's all I want to do. I just want to live comfortably. Not like I'm not now, but
you want to be able to eat off your passion. You want to be able to do what you love and be comfortable doing it. That's fair. That's fair. I think we all need that. I want that.
Like, that would be the first thing I'll do. Probably like put some money to the side. Make sure stack more paper. Like, that's all I want. I just want to make more money so that way I'm cool, mom's cool, future kids cool. Like, that's the goal. Make sure everybody's good. You know what I mean?
That's dope. That's tough, man. And to close out, what advice or insight can you offer to up and coming DJs, or just people in general who may be apprehensive or maybe hesitant to jump head first into their craft, maybe their business, or just an idea? What can you offer to the people from your personal experiences that maybe they can use to apply to their own?
As long as you can believe in yourself, you go for it.
Just go.
It's just go. Like, I hate to say it, but sometimes it is a sense of what can I really lose? Like, if you don't already have it, what can you lose? You're not about to lose anything. Like, yeah, you have that business, but if you don't have that startup money, what did you just lose from the business? You know? Maybe that's a bad example, but
No, I understand what you're saying. It's like at the end of the day, he's like, you start from the ground anyway. What's the worst that can happen? I'm already in the hood. Like, what's the worst that can happen?
all that's gonna happen is I'm gonna start back. So I'm still gonna keep going forward. Like, go for it. Sometimes it is that leap of faith. But you gotta have the confidence in yourself. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, it won't matter if you go for it or not. Because the confidence that you have in yourself exuberates around you. Like, others will notice and they'll treat you a certain way because they see that. Because they see, oh, they know that they can do something with themselves. They're confident. I want to invest in you. Like, I want to give you a chance to make your dreams come true because I see that you have the faith that you can do it.
People can feel that.
Yeah. I'm not saying be cocky, but just have that confidence in yourself. Like, know that you can do it. Like, and if it don't go your way, all right, that's fine. Try it. Still go for it. You know, like, obstacles are gonna come. Time, it may not always be right, but when the time comes, is
time for you to show up.
You show up and you show out. You make it happen. Like, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's not that easy, which I wanted to say, but I'm not gonna say it's not that easy. But it's a mental thing. It's mental. It's more mental than anything. Mm-hmm. Like, you can have all the physical abilities and
all the
strength and money, the power, the brains, but if you don't have it mentally,
if you're not executing, we're doing bad.
It doesn't matter if it's going to drive you crazy. Why are you doing it,
man? You know what, man? Saying all that, I wanna truly thank you for gracing the podcast and gracing the people with your presence. Truly.
Listen, I appreciate you just having me.
Definitely, man. You guys, y'all really gotta peel the layers back of this conversation. Discipline, confidence, and just execution. That's what I got from this, and I'm gonna do my best to apply all of that to my own personal journey, especially when it comes to this podcast, because this podcast, at the end of the day, I want people to leave an episode or finish an episode saying, you know what? I was putting off that idea for about 5 months. Let me just sit down and get my thoughts down.
Even with that, and you can't be afraid for the negatives.
That's gonna come with it.
The negatives is gonna come. If you really know if that's really what you want, then you know the road that has to be taken. Like, you should already know ahead of time what should be the good, what should be the bad. But it's like, all right, this is what I want to do. It's that need versus want. This is not what I need to do, but this is what I want to do. This is me. This is going to make me happy. This is going to give me, like, you know, some people have that hole. This is going to help me fill that void with something positive. All right, the hardships fell, but at the end of the day, when I get it, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make the best of it. As I said earlier, like, as I keep saying, just keep creating that better version of you. Like, you become great. All right, cool. Now become greater. Like, we're humans. We already know that we don't access full capacity of our brain, so keep evolving yourself. Don't stop.
Can't stop.
Rockefeller Records. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Classic.
On that note, y'all.
That's Philly right there.
On that note, y'all, man, shit.
Young Guns.
Y'all have DJ Stuck here, my man. Tell them where they can find the mixes, where they can find your music, where they can find your social media. Just tell them all the links and just give them everything.
Man. All right, so y'all can hit me on IG, DJ.Stuck. On Twitter, because I'm doing Twitter that did some BS with me, so I had to make a new Twitter. I don't feel like trying to get my old one back yet, but Twitter, DJ2_Stuck. All my music is links in my bios. I mean, you can find link-free bios in both of them. They'll give you access to my SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Like, even if I'm promoting something, like, you'll find links to everything that you need right there. And once the creativity hits, man, because I even told you, like,
you getting back on your game.
I've had my creative drought. Like, it
comes with it.
But you always come back stronger from it. You always come back better.
There you have it. Y'all
be on the lookout, man.
Y'all been tuned in to Let's Be Honest with Tone the Shields. Understand that creative people do different things. Stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. One love, y'all.